me, it all started with a story. I was a reporter for the old Universal News Service with a fresh assignment in Berlin. Hitler and his Nazis had just come to power. It was a story I really wanted to tell.
What does Wachstums mean?
Wachstum. Growing up.
What's going on? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
May I suggest? The photographs, they may come on board. They can be inquisitive. You are Americans?
My husband is. I am from Vienna.
Sir, if I were you, I wouldn't go out into the cold.
Niemand verlässt das Abteil.
No stopping him when he snips a story.
Journalists?
Yes, I am as well a photographer. I mean, that's obvious, I guess.
And you come to Germany for, how do you call that? Scoops.
Zurück in den Wagen! Fenster zu! Zurück in den Wagen!
Weg von den Fenstern!
Perhaps you do not realize how careful you must be in Germany.
Even journalists?
Particularly journalists.
But we were told there was no censorship.
Under Hitler, there is a wonderful new spirit in Germany. Booming economy, happy atmosphere. Everybody is very confident again.
But?
The cost. There's great human cost. I don't think that is reported.
möchte mich beschweren über die Behandlung der Gefangenen. Hier drinnen ist ein alter Mann.
Es ist unerhört.
Sie müssen
brauchen einen Arzt.
I don't understand. What are you saying? Was sagen Sie?
You are not German?
No, American. I'm an American journalist. What are you doing here?
We have been forced into this train. Where's it going?
Berlin.
Berlin?
The Paris-Berlin train.
In Berlin, you must tell Lenz, Reverend Lenz.
Lenz?
Reverend Lenz!
Ja, please. Lutheran Church.
I'm Charles from Mainz, and he's Friedel from Munich.
Zurück in den Wagen.
I'm sorry?
Into the train.
What'd I do?
Papers.
Who are those guys?
Criminals. A variety of crimes.
What they do?
Petty offenses of no interest. Your address in Berlin?
Adlon Hotel. What crimes? How do I find out?
We obey signs in this country. Go back to your carriage.
Okay, I will. Thanks for the tip.
Gepäckträger.
Oh, is he giving you a quarter?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Thank you. I'll be right back.
So, thank you so much for everything. Thanks a lot.
Goodbye.
Einen Moment. Können wir das hier lassen? Wir kommen gleich wieder. Bill, what are you doing here? What's going on?
I'll be darned.
Bill. Those men are watching you.
I know. I'll tell you later. Let's find Norman.
Welcome! Welcome to Berlin. We are so happy to see you.
Yeah.
Well, would you accept this little gift from our Führer?
Oh, thank you.
Or is there anywhere I can help? A taxi or hotel?
No, thank you. Thanks. We're fine.
Here's the number of the state tourist office. Take it and call if we can help. I hope you will have much happiness in Germany.
Thank you. I wonder where Norman is.
You know those men are still following us.
German. One of them was on the train.
Was he?
Bill! Bill!
Norman, what are you doing out here?
Well,
Say hello to Tess.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Shirer? Zum Taxi, schnell bitte. We'll meet properly in the taxi, but let's get everything loaded quickly. I saw the SS, and I said to myself, yeah, but old boy, stay clear. We'll be more used to your friends if you don't get involved. I mean, that's why I wasn't on the platform.
What have you got to worry about?
Oh, I'm on their list. I'm a dangerous character. But why were they watching you?
What happened on the train?
How many of them did you say there were?
9 or 10. I saw a couple of them get shoved to the ground, and then they pushed them to the back of the train and put them on this freight car.
Well, they don't treat prisoners very gently here.
Norman, these were priests.
They said they were priests.
Were they dressed as priests?
They were pretty messed up. They could have been priests. Anyway, I shouldn't be telling you this. I'll be reading about it in your paper tomorrow.
Oh, don't worry. If it's anything derogatory to the Nazi Party, the Times won't run it. And you won't be able to report it.
Why not?
But is there censorship or isn't there?
No, there isn't. But they get reports of everything you write. And if they don't like it, you're expelled. I'd forget the whole thing if I were you.
He said something about Lenz. Tell Reverend Lenz. Some kind of contact.
Bill, how long did you know him? Norman Everett, your friend.
He was here when I was in Berlin 10 years ago. He's aged a lot. Hell of a newsman.
He seemed pretty nervous.
Well, maybe he just got like that since his editor started spiking his stories.
The London Times spiking the truth. I mean, this is a disgrace.
Who says it's the truth? Do you know it's the truth?
Here we go again.
Well, his editor thinks Hitler may be our only defense against the Bolsheviks. Plus, the economy's turned around, people are working again. Norman doesn't want to give the Germans any credit. Anyway, I want to show you Berlin. You'll love it.
What? You are going to show me Berlin with your accent?
I don't have an accent. You have an accent.
What are you looking for?
Can't find Lenz in here. There's a good story in this somewhere. Rein?
It's Norman.
Ah, Norman. Hi, come in.
How much longer are you two going to be?
I want to show Tess the town.
And I want to introduce you to everyone. Oh, but the man I most want you to meet is just blown in. He's a character.
Who's that?
Putzi Hanfstengel. He's head of the Foreign Press Department of the Ministry of Propaganda. He provides pretty well all the official news there is in Berlin. And he's very funny.
Funny?
Oh, well, there's one thing you have to remember. Secretly, he doesn't think of himself as a newsman at all.
At what then?
Oh, an artist, a musician. Listen to that. He thinks he's Paderewski.
Bill! Agnes! Oh, my God. I heard you got in.
You look terrific.
Oh.
Darling, this is Agnes Knickerbocker. We were in Madrid for 3 years. My wife, Tess.
Well, hi. We never thought anyone would actually marry this old roue. Listen, Nick will be back later. He's just dying to see you. That's my husband. Oh, it's great to see you. Oh, hang on a second. I can't hear a thing. Putzi! Putzi, will you stop that god-awful racket? You'll drive us all insane.
Well, here we are. My second home. Oh, I imagine you two know each other, you? Peter Butler, Bureau Chief of International News Service.
No, we haven't met.
Good evening. This is Shirer.
Don't get up.
They're deadly rivals, of course, but they're both owned by William Randolph Hearst.
I've read your stuff. You have an interesting angle on what's going on here.
Thank you. A lot of people around here condemn the National Socialists out of hand. You don't take that line, do you?
I don't take anything yet. I just arrived.
Do you know Dorothy Thompson?
Sure.
You know she's been expelled.
Dorothy?
She had her papers withdrawn, given 24 hours to get out.
What for?
Writing things that weren't true.
Oh, for God's sake, Marthe!
Come on, Peter. I want to dance.
Oh, you're ruining my suit.
Oh, don't be such an old fuddy-duddy.
Don't mind Marthe, it's only exhibitionism. Ralph Barnes, Herald Tribune.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My wife, Tess.
Mrs. Shirer. Welcome to the most fascinating, exciting city on earth.
Do you dance, Mr. Shirer? You look like you're a great dancer.
You better ask Tess.
Now, this seems an opportune moment to introduce you to our celebrated pianist. May I introduce Dr. Hanfstengel, who is always extremely helpful, whether you want him to be or not. My old friend, Mr. Shirer and Mrs. Shirer.
Of course. Always so pleased, so delighted. Welcome, welcome. So, my mother was American, and I was educated at Harvard. Did you know that?
Oh, give him a chance, Putzi.
We enjoyed your playing.
Ah, you're too kind.
I hear you play for the Fuhrer when he can't sleep.
Oh, that's true, that's true. The Fuhrer is an old personal friend of mine. Yeah, he used to stay with us, and many times we assisted him when he was poor.
Why can't he sleep? Isn't he happy?
The Fuhrer requires less rest than other persons because he feels at all times the vitality of the entire German race coursing through his veins, guiding his decisions day and night.
Oh, bravo, Putzi.
Let's have a drink.
Yeah.
What did Dorothy Thompson do that you found so objectionable?
It wasn't just Dorothy. She was the third one to go.
And
Really?
Miss Thompson regrettably wrote a book full of slanders.
About Germany?
And about the Fuhrer? Oh, she could have easily had the contents checked, but there we are. Yeah, cheers. Well, it is important, Mr. Shirer, to report the facts without interpreting. Only history can do that.
Crap.
Hey, we're pretty upset about this, Putzi. 3 of us kicked out. Do you think maybe we ought to go talk to the American ambassador?
Certainly, I think that's a very good idea, do you know? And perhaps he can convince you not to pass judgment on what you do not understand, right? Now, excuse me just one moment.
Should we talk to your dad?
That's unbelievable.
Well, why not? It's worth a try.
So, Shirer, anything you need to know? Any facts you need to check? The Ministry of Propaganda is at your disposal day and night.
Okay, thanks.
Just one thing. Those convicts that you saw, for instance,
They said they were priests.
convicted criminals. There's no story there.
That's not what they said.
Mr. Shirer, I have the most complete details. May I have the honor to invite you to the ministry? Well, we have the fullest explanation.
Okay. Tomorrow, then?
I'll expect you.
Well, it's been here for...
Wait till you see what we're going to take you to next. Now, what was
But how did they know?
About the prisoners?
They keep very close tabs on foreign journalists. The attendant on the train would have told the Gestapo. They report to the Ministry of Propaganda.
Jeez.
One thing you can't fault them on is sheer efficiency.
Hey, guys, come on, party time.
Hey, we're coming.
Incidentally, be careful what you say in front of Peter Butler. He's close to the Nazis.
Is he?
In fact, you should be careful about what you say to anybody you don't know well in the press.
What's that mean?
Well, they plant a lot of fellows. Yeah, very open, very friendly, very critical of the regime, but they're waiting to trap you, to report on you.
Hey, Bill. It's good to be back.
Sure, terrific. Come to bed, honey.
Did you know about the daily press orders?
Daily press what?
Every day, the Ministry of Propaganda gives orders to all the Berlin editors of what stories and names can be printed or not. Those editors can be imprisoned for not obeying. I mean, if this is not censorship, what is it then?
I'll ask Putzi about it in the morning.
Are you going to see Putzi tomorrow?
Sure. You gotta be quick in this business.
We are going to see the ambassador.
Is that a fact?
It was 10 years since I'd been in Berlin. What I wrote about in my diary that first night was the Berlin I had known 10 years before. The all-night sessions in smoke-filled bars and studios. The endless discussions of art and sex, sport and politics and love. The Berlin we arrived in 1934 was just as beautiful and still romantic. But you felt it right away. There was a chill in the air.
So, Helmut Kreitzler, 6 years hard labor. Johannes Beer, 3 years for burglary. Peter Meyer, the same. And Johannes Müller, 10 years for public wounding. And there are your convicts. They were being transported to Spandau prison.
These aren't the men I saw.
No? Well,
No.
They're is the transportation pass. Yeah, that was the train you were on, was it not?
Yeah, but the men I saw were middle class, educated.
Ah. You could tell all that through the window.
One of them said they were priests. He even gave me his name.
A priest? So, what was his name?
I don't remember.
Ah, well. Either he was deceiving you or you didn't hear him properly.
Can I see the daily press orders for that day? I might recognize the name.
The what?
The list of names the ministry issues daily to editors, the names of people they're not allowed to print.
Those lists are handed out only to our Berlin correspondents at our daily press conference.
When you let the editors know what they can say?
The lists would tell you nothing. They're enemies of the state. Remember, you might guess, Mr. Shirer.
If you ever did arrest a priest, would his name appear on those lists?
How would I know? It depends what he's done. I think you abuse my hospitality, Mr. Shirer.
Do I?
I want to explain the ministry to you, show you how it works. Would you not find that helpful?
Sure, absolutely.
But you regard me as a liar.
No. I always have to check my facts. That's what they pay me for.
Facts. Those men are convicted criminals. There is nothing about them worth publishing.
How does the Ministry of Propaganda work, Dr. Hemstengel?
So, we have 12 departments, and they cover press, broadcasting, films, theater, counter-propaganda, publishing, literature, and so on. You see, the Reich government regards each one as most important.
Because this is where you decide what people are supposed to think?
Mr. Shirer, what we've created is a central liaison point for all the media. And we help them with finance, with information. We solve all the problems of distribution. And it is also much more efficient when everything is centralized.
Quite a place.
It is. It is beautiful, isn't it? So, here we are. Through here, morning, here, we review films and scenarios. Through here, posters. Posters, as you can see. And these are some sketches for next year's Nuremberg rally. Yeah, take a look. Impressive, aren't they? To be approved, of course, by the Herr Reich Minister. Here. Morning, Hilda. This young lady is in charge of the promotion of some of our favorite movie stars. Yeah. Now, this is the broadcasting division. All scripts have to be checked here for accuracy.
So how's the hotel working out?
Oh, it's much too expensive. Do you think that Putzi could help us to find an apartment?
Oh, I'd be careful of that. Anything he found, he would be bristling with microphones.
Yeah, you spend your whole day checking the lampshade.
Marthe will help. The embassy has a special list.
Oh, good, thank you.
Look at that goon over there. You can spot the Gestapo a mile away.
You'll get used to it.
In trouble.
Just make sure you get my name right this time. It's got a K in the middle. Knickerbocker. Got it?
Well, look, you've got American journalists being kicked out for telling the truth. What's going to happen to them?
Why pick on Dorothy Thompson? She's the most informed reporter we've
Look,
got
I
here.
understand. Yes, I know that. And I am as concerned about this as you are. 3 fine correspondents expelled.
All they were doing is telling the truth.
Nick, you know what it's like out here. The authorities do not care for people who report things that they find embarrassing. Now, remember, at least there's no censorship.
Oh, except by deportation. Yeah, print something they don't like and they throw you out.
But do you people have any suggestions on how we can stop this?
Well, the State Department could kick a German journalist out of the United States every time they kicked one of ours out.
That's a great idea.
We can't let them get away with it time after time.
I can't see the State Department agreeing to that. They're holding a neutral line here. There's non-involvement in Germany.
But these are American citizens.
Yeah, we don't do it to German citizens.
Let me try this, all right? I'll put it to Putzi.
I think that'll do very much good.
As a warning shot, that I strongly recommend that this kind of thing can't be happening out here. Now, that's what I'll do.
Look, I'm terribly sorry. I have a meeting at the Foreign Ministry on this.
Sir, if you could tell us how the meeting with Putzi goes, and perhaps we can discuss it more a bit later.
Mrs. Shirer.
Yeah?
I'll get into the office right away. How are you finding things out here?
Just feeling our way at the moment, thank you.
Do you know how the Ministry of Propaganda works? Goebbels is a genius. He runs a news manipulation machine that's extraordinarily efficient. See, the Nazis believe that this doctoring of news is just as important as guns and chips and...
You know, I'm an Austrian. I know a little bit more about Germans than you think.
Good. You going to the Nuremberg rally? You'll see the whole propaganda system in operation there.
No, my husband is going. I'm staying here.
Is he aware that...
He's learning. Fast.
Let's hope so. Excuse me.
The great. Historical films are most popular at the moment.
Past glories?
Exactly. All the filmmakers come to us for their budgeting, you know. Oh, watch this. This really is wonderful.
You finance the filmmakers?
Certainly.
That must give you quite a lot of influence.
Support them, Mr. Shirer. Don't influence them. Yes. Here, transcripts of all foreign broadcasts about Germany are checked. Oh, my God. You'd be appalled at this information.
What's the point? After the transmission, it's too late.
Oh, well, we just make a little note of the foreign correspondent responsible.
For future reference.
Exactly.
You keep files on all the foreign correspondents here?
But of course. Your friend, Mr. Abbott, for example.
Yes?
Oh, excellent, man. Excellent. But it is good that the London Times no longer prints his untruths. He's lost judgment.
Norman Abbott is a very old friend of mine. He's brave, he's got stamina, and he's a damn good reporter.
Just be careful of any material he may pass on to you, Mr. Shirer. I don't wish you to be embarrassed.
I'd love to be in on one of those briefings where they tell the Berlin editors what they can write.
That would be wonderful if they threw us out. We could go back to Spain and lie in the sun, mess around.
Tess, we just got here. We can't do that anymore.
Why not? Did we stop being free all of a sudden and nobody told me?
Well, I mean, we're married now, you know.
Come on, Bill. I mean, you love the story. That's why we are here, no? Those apartments are much too expensive. Marthe told me she's going to show me something which we could afford.
Will you do something for me while I'm in Nuremberg? Will you try to find the real Reverend Lands?
Sure.
There must be dozens of them in here.
What did Putzi say about those prisoners?
Nothing I believed.
You've got to remember how vulnerable the Germans are. I mean, the terrible guilt of the Versailles Treaty after the war, you know, disarmament, reparations, total guilt, all that. They long to shake all that off. That's why they get carried away by Adolf. They feel their old strength come flooding back.
Well, Adolf, I sort of understand, but this unbelievable communication machine I saw yesterday.
We find that very odd, too.
I mean, you don't organize the news and communications like that unless you have something to hide.
No, that's where you're wrong, Bill. The Germans love to be organized, to be told what to do, even what to think.
Authority, direction from above is what they want. They're not individualists like us. They can't understand democracy. It doesn't come naturally to them. Look.
Good morning, gentlemen. Please be seated. Many congratulations to you all, gentlemen, on your morning editions. I particularly like the piece in Deutsche Allgemeine on censorship in the British press, and the many good references to the unemployment figures. Excellent.
Herr Reichsminister, is the figure we were given yesterday, 46% average rise in farm workers' wages, an estimate or the actual figure?
Amstengel? The actual figure, Herr Reichsminister.
But with 88% inflation?
88%? It's less than half that. Haven't you read the monthly digest from the Chancellery? Hmm?
Herr Schwertfeder?
Yes, Herr Reichsminister?
Dr. Gotell.
This leading article of yours this morning, the changes in the Reich's educational system.
Why didn't you lead with the story that we gave you? Military aggression by Poland.
There have been no indications of any
Polish aggression against Germany is a fact.
Yes, Herr Reichsminister.
Good. Thank you. Now, our main item for this morning is, of course, the Nuremberg rally. Dr. Wader will see to the travel details and will be at your disposal at all times. This will be an unprecedented event, gentlemen. Your readers will be intensely interested. I can guarantee you a piece of history.
Seeing Hitler for the first time and seeing his grip on the German people. He arrived at Nuremberg like a Roman emperor, a god. You could feel the magnetism as he passed by the crowd. He was their Messiah. The next morning, Norman and I got there early to check out the stadium before the crowds arrived.
Is all this for the newsreels?
Oh, no. And I'll bet that's Hitler's pet filmmaker. She's a woman called Leni Riefenstahl. She's brilliant. It's a propaganda film.
Stop! It is absolutely forbidden to enter the stadium at this time. Absolutely forbidden.
Dr. Bader, I'd like to talk to Fräulein Leni Riefenstahl. Can you arrange that?
Fräulein Riefenstahl?
Yeah, sure.
That is not Fräulein Riefenstahl. That is another filmmaker who works for the Ministry of Propaganda. Fräulein Helga Bauer, she is not to be disturbed.
Just for 10 minutes.
Fräulein Bauer is far too busy to speak to newspaper correspondents. Now, please leave.
Well, I'm gonna write about it. I guess I'll just have to write about it without her.
Come on, come on. Bisschen links.
shoot the bastard from here.
You mean I like him, Norman? Because they think he's God.
Und ich weiß, so wie ihr in stolzer Ergebenheit diesem Deutschland Dienst tut, wird heute Deutschland in stolzer Freude.
Hitler's eloquence was his most lethal weapon. Not what he said, but how he said it. It was his iron conviction that made Germans lap up every word. He could swing his mass audiences into any mood he wanted, from rage to laughter to ecstasy.
What do you think of our circus?
That's the clowns.
Believe me, plenty of clowns.
You really got to hand it to him.
Trouble is, no one knows what's real anymore.
Oh, Putzi does, doesn't he? And Goebbels?
I don't think so. I think they've started to believe their own handouts.
What have we got?
They're mine. Go get your own, Shirer.
Norman?
Yeah. Hello, Bill. Funny feeling, you know. Writing something you know will never be used.
Right, junk, that's what happens.
What? What did you say? What are you talking about?
That's what I said, Norman. Garbage.
I could kill him sometimes.
Take it easy, Norman.
Well, I mean, he just uses all this Ministry of Propaganda duplicated junk.
Everybody, the Führer, yeah, the Führer has made extemporaneous remarks about German womanhood. Yes? Well, listen, my friends. You should thank me, you know.
Healthy, happy Hausfrau.
Any sexy pictures? Look, I'm helping you. All these lovely quotes.
Putzi, you're worse than my mother.
What?
All this spoon feeding.
Spoon feeding?
Oh, Agnes, no cigars, no lipstick.
Oh, back to the nipples.
Wombs and looms.
We're off limits, you know.
I know, it's like old times, isn't it? Remember that nunnery in 1924, where they brewed that hooch?
That's right, that was at Wiesbaden.
Wiesbaden, that was it. Yes, we found the still, I remember. God, that stuff was lethal. Do you remember the Mother Superior falling in the river?
Norman, you exaggerate.
Well, the dear old Times wouldn't print it, so I jazzed it up a bit. Sold it for the News Chronicle under another name. She fell into the river in the News Chronicle.
Hey, look. Look at this. They're like religious relics. Oh. Unbelievable.
Where are you from?
My friend's from England, I'm from America.
Do you know what the Führer's done to Germany?
Was sagst du ihnen?
Ich erzähle Ihnen über den Führer. Sie sind Ausländer.
Well, what?
I didn't have a job for 5 years. Now I have this shop. Der Führer won't allow bad times to happen again.
Was hast du ihnen gesagt?
Was der Führer für uns tut.
Sag ihnen, wir leben in Deutschlands größten Zeiten. Und ich danke Gott, dass ich das miterleben darf. Ich habe Stiefel bekommen. Und genug zu essen.
Well, that's true.
We both fought in the last war, like the Führer. But nobody gave a damn for us. But him.
But he shut down your unions. Don't you resent the loss of freedom?
Freedom? Freedom for what? Freedom to starve? I don't mind losing that. Let me give you this plaque.
Oh, thank you.
A little present. Do you have any children?
No, but thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Well, that was really terrible.
Depressing and so dirty. I hope we find something better than that.
You know, Tess, maybe you should try and get a longer lease to lower the price. By the way, how long are you going to be in Berlin?
It's hard to say. Bill thinks this is the place where the story is. He's keeping already a diary about it. All the stories the editors don't want to print. My God. The essay?
That's right.
Bastards.
Deutschland erwache! Juda, verrecke! Deutschland erwache! Juda, verrecke!
Abteilung! Halt! Warum erwidern Sie den Nationalgruß nicht?
Verzeihen Sie, ich habe...
Wir haben es gesehen. Er wollte antworten und Sie haben ihn geschlagen.
Was ist hier passiert?
Ich bin die Tochter des amerikanischen Botschafters.
Was hat dieser Mann? Was hat er Ihnen getan? Wir haben alles gesehen. Wieso haben Sie geschlagen? Er hat Ihnen nichts getan. Das darf doch wohl nicht wahr sein. Das gibt's. So was gibt's nicht. Kann ich Ihnen helfen? Haben Sie Schmerzen? Haben Sie Schmerzen?
Danke. Ich fühle mich vollkommen wohl.
Wohnen Sie hier? Wohnen Sie da? We are going to the next police station because
no,
this is
I think we've done enough. But come on, leave it be, or they'll go after Bill and my father.
But this is, I mean, we were witnesses to that. I mean, if you don't
you've
want
got
to
to
complain,
learn this is not New York. Come on, let's go.
I mean, this one looks really beautiful. Do you think that? Do you remember how much it costs?
Ah, yes, you must be the renter ladies. Enter. Please, please, enter.
Thank you.
I am Arto Windisch.
Marthe Dodd.
I'm Tess Shirer. Hello.
Hello.
This is absolutely wonderful. But I'm afraid that my husband and me, we couldn't afford this.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can, dear lady. Yes, you can. You'll be surprised what you can afford. What can you pay?
We couldn't pay more than 80 marks.
Accepted. So that's settled, and you can keep the pictures, the sculptures, and the books.
I can't believe this. I'm sorry to ask you, why are you leaving Berlin?
Judging by the Führer's artistic taste, there's no place here for degenerate art or degenerate artists. So I'm going to England. By all accounts, the English don't care too much about art either, but I will try to convert them. So let me show you the rest of the apartment. Now, this window is hard to close, so don't open it if you don't have to. There's a bathroom through there. It's a long way from the bedroom, I'm afraid. Enjoy your time here. It's a happy house, and I shall miss it. But you see, I don't have anyone left here, so I can afford to move. Anyway, this is my London address. Send the rent to me here. Be happy and wish me luck.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
Wiedersehen.
Al Wiedersehen. Oh, yes. Heil Hitler.
SA und SS-Männer. 200,000 men have assembled here, summoned by nothing but the order of their own hearts. Our people's great misery has seized us, united us in battle, made us fight and become strong again together.
Hey! Where are you going? See if I can find a real story.
Well, if you find one, call me. Extension 17.
I'm very sorry to disturb you. I saw you in the church and I want to ask you, aren't you a Lutheran priest?
Indeed.
So, do you know by any chance a Reverend Lenz?
Sorry, I'm afraid I cannot help. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm sorry to bother you. Does Reverend Lenz live here?
There's no Reverend Lenz living here.
Oh, but thank you very much. So, Reverend Lenz.
You know a Shirers?
He went out to find a real story.
Oh, yeah? A real story?
That's what he said.
You're damned. Mr. Shirer! This area is strictly off limits. You must return immediately.
What do you want, Hanstengel?
Excuse me, Hagon. This man is an American journalist. He has no right to...
You let him escape? That's your problem. You can remain.
Thank you, General.
Well, sir, if you don't mind my asking, are you waiting for the Fuhrer?
I am. Late as usual. He treats the whole officer corps like this. Do you know what his rank was in the army?
I thought he loved the army.
Oh, no. He loved parades.
Well, but in his book, in Mein Kampf, he sets out certain ambitions which could only be achieved by military conquest.
He doesn't say military conquest.
How else could they be achieved?
No comment. He'll never leave now.
After World War I mean, the Versailles Treaty states that the German army and navy must remain very small. And there can be no air force, so... Well, how do you view that?
Preposterous and humiliating.
Is the Fuhrer going to increase the size of the armed forces?
Why don't you ask him? But let me tell you, with German armed forces the size they are now, wouldn't conquer all mice. It's intolerable, it will change.
Off the record, not to be quoted.
Is this on or off the record, General?
Either I speak on the record or I do not speak. It'll be all.
Thank you, General. You coming? Thank you, sir.
The Commander-in-Chief went on to say that the present size of the armed forces is unacceptable to both the military high command and to the Fuhrer.
The sheer sledgehammer blow on the emotions seemed impossible for the Germans to resist. This was genius of a new and disturbing kind. The individual was lost, his will was drained, and a collective sense of superhuman strength was created out of a rabid, mindless tribalism.
Hello.
Mrs. Shirer?
Yeah.
This is Lenz.
I'm sorry?
Reverend Lenz, you have been looking for me.
Oh, yeah, oh, sure. Where are you, Mr. Lenz?
Can I help in some way?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's not for me. It's for my husband. He's an American newspaper correspondent, but he's away covering the Nuremberg rally.
Oh, well, then I will ring again.
Yeah, listen, Mr. Lenz, I don't want to put you through any trouble, so perhaps there's a phone number we can reach you.
No, this is a call box. I do not have a telephone at home. I will ring again.
Good to see you. Welcome. Dr. Hanfstengel returned just a half an hour ago. He flew back from Nuremberg with the Führer.
No. I am talking about Shirer, William Shirer. You know the man?
I've met his wife.
Deliberately flaunting the arrangements we have made, deliberately seeking to discover inflammatory material by improper means.
He broke the law?
Not the law, exactly.
Not the law.
The point is, he has only just arrived in Germany. My prediction is he will not be here for very long.
Well, that's what I want to see you about, Doctor. I am very disturbed about the amount of journalists you're expelling from here.
I do not see, Mr. Ambassador, that has anything to do with you.
Haven't you just finished complaining to me about one of them?
Well, you're perfectly entitled to expel...
Now listen. We have a tradition of fairness and openness in our press.
So do we. Unless it deliberately attacks the regime.
Well, sometimes it's legitimate.
It is never legitimate. They must report the facts without interpreting them. Those who indulge in political attack will be expelled.
Even if it means the expulsion of a German journalist from the United States?
First, that is bluff. The second, Mr. Ambassador, we have advised Washington that you are antagonistic to the German people and a source of considerable friction with this ministry. And the Führer is of the same opinion.
Well, there's no more to be said.
Shirer?
He has my full support.
You always were a dedicated lad.
You realize what Von Fritsch said to me?
Well, you told me what he said.
He confirmed that Hitler can only achieve his ambitions by breaking the Versailles Treaty.
You mean by expanding the armed forces?
By war. That's the point. It can only be achieved by war. It's the biggest con on the German people of all. That's what I think.
This whole rearmament thing is creating a mountain of debt.
How's he going to pay it off?
You could always start a war.
Let it take their minds off the dead.
Peace is essential. Peace is vital. Germany will renounce all her offensive weapons if only other nations will do the same. Germany is undergoing a great national revival, but above all, above everything, she wants peace.
Moment, ich komm schon. Oh Gott, ist so früh. Servus, Bier.
I have a message from the Führer.
Oh no, you mean you couldn't come with you? Schon gut. Karl, danke schön. Na, später, danke schön, danke.
Yes, can I put down my bag?
So, how do you like this place?
It's a palace. Can we afford it?
Belongs to the sculptor. A sculptor who had to leave Germany. That's the only reason why we got it. 80 marks a month. You're exploiting him?
Well, we can afford to pay a little more than that, can't we?
So
let's. You've really moved us in here.
Oh, well, you know me. I can't remember my own name until the bed is made.
Does this mean we're staying?
Of course you're staying.
I see you've been working, too.
Yeah. 5,000 words on the Nazification of German schools. It's not bad.
Good. Great.
Bill, what's happening is horrific. Did you know that every school teacher has to take a personal oath of loyalty to the Führer?
Yeah.
Then they tell the parents, your child belongs to the state, belongs to Hitler. You're just a biological accident. And then they stuff their little brains with rewritten history, ludicrous stuff, and racial superiority. And at the age of 4, look at those pictures, look at them. I mean, you can see Nazi ideas biting into their heads, even at that age.
Where did you get these?
I just said I wanted to tell the world about Nazi education.
Well, you will. Did you find Lenz?
Oh, yes, I forgot. He called the hotel.
He did?
Then this came. I opened it. It might have been important.
He wants me to meet him at the 10 o'clock service on Sunday at the Lutheran Church in Dahlem.
Dahlem is a suburb about a mile away. I looked it up.
Great. And you're coming?
No, I don't think I can make it.
You're coming now. That wasn't a question. It's high time you went to church.
Yes, sir. Anything you say. Let us pray.
Just got off an all-night train. I haven't had any breakfast. My feet are cold.
Forget it. No.
Good morning. Victor Schneider. A friend of Otto's?
Otto's?
Our friend who left.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the house.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider.
I live in the apartment right above you. My wife, Sarah, and I hope that you will join us for supper once you are settled. Perhaps next week?
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you. You don't want to come in for a minute, do you?
No. I'm sure that you are very busy, and besides, I have to go to university. My wife is home, if you need anything.
Good, thank you.
Good day.
Good day. That was our upstairs neighbor.
William Shirer. Come here.
A nice way to spend the morning.
Okay, speed up.
Why did you cut this?
What? Shouldn't I?
It's good. It's hard fact. Leave it.
Okay. Put it back in.
Lucky you got me.
Oh.
Schützengraben Verteidigungsautonomie.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Take the banana out of your ear.
What did you say? Good morning. I love you.
I know.
Smug bastard.
Not smug, irresistible.
So, you like this sculpture?
Isn't that by our landlord?
Right.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant sculptor. It's going to be world class. It's Germany that's the loser.
Since when do you know him, Mr. Schneider?
Victor, please. Let me see. I think we met the year I bought the kokoschka.
That's how he remembers everything. If someone asks when I was born, he says the year I got the Picasso.
Oh, this is so hypnotic. I can't take my eyes off it.
Well, have a closer look. That's what it's there for.
But you have so much passion for your paintings.
Passion is a good word for it. They're the real love of his life.
No.
I can see that.
Have you seen the Kandinskis? No, please, have a look. I'm very proud of these.
That's enough, all of you. Off to bed.
Aren't they beautiful?
Now, say good night.
I got them about 10 years ago.
Paul, good night.
Good night.
Thank you for your visit. We enjoyed it very much. Please see you again. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Ernest. Sleep well.
Good night, children.
Good night, Papa.
Bill, Tess, some brandy?
Yes,
sure. Thank you.
Sarah?
No, thank you.
No? So, Bill, you write for Universal Services. That's a news agency, not a paper, right?
That's right. Tess is freelance.
Oh, yes? What, the woman's angle?
If we are going to be friends, you stop that right now.
Sorry, you're quite right.
Do you know anything about Dahlem, the Lutheran church in Dahlem?
Oh, but it's famous. It's run by Pastor Niemöller.
The U-boat captain?
That's right. Very brave in the war.
Yes, he was a great supporter of Hitler's at the beginning. He thought he was what Germany needed.
But now he's completely changed. He's publicly challenging the Führer, taking over the church.
Everybody's expecting the SS to move in at any time and arrest him.
Are you writing about him?
Maybe. And, a Reverend Lenz?
I don't know. Bill, do be careful. When the SS do decide to take action, it'll be very ugly.
But doesn't that worry you?
Me?
Yeah. Your position here as a Jew.
Huh. Yes, a Jew. But you see, first, a German. My family have lived here for so many generations, they can't be traced. I have a distinguished position at the university. I'm safe.
Are you sure?
Sure? Well, nothing is sure. Still, I don't stand up in the church pulpit, assuming you'd find me in the church pulpit in the first place, denouncing the Führer. No, the SS has no quarrel with me, unlike this Pastor Niemöller.
Heil Hitler! Yes, my friends, you find that uncomfortable, don't you? That the Nazi salute should be given in a Christian church. It was not like that when the National Socialist Party came to power. Then we could hold up our heads as patriots and as Christians. But now, we have to choose between them. There is a bitter propaganda battle being waged against the church. We must fight against it. The truth is being crucified. You know the choice that is being forced upon the clergy. Soon it will be forced on you. Whether the state rules our affairs, or whether this is the church of our blessed Savior, Jesus Christ.
Mr. Shirer?
Reverend Lance.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. It is so difficult to meet, and we must be so careful.
I'm not in any danger.
I hope not.
You know who those men were on the train?
I have a list here of their names, addresses, and the churches of which they were pastor.
What had they done?
Defied Hitler. Refused to sign an undertaking they would eventually join the National Reich Church and swear personal allegiance to the Führer.
The National Reich Church.
Officially recognized by the Reichstag last year. Hitler's church for German Christians. The Old Testament to be abolished. The New Testament to be rewritten with the teachings of Jesus tailored to the needs of the Nazi Party. The Christian idea of mercy is considered dangerous and un-Germanic.
There have been protests, complaints.
But there have been protests, complaints. Those men you saw on the train, they had complained. They defied the Reich Church. I believe that if the world knew, maybe we could stop it.
Publish the whole story. Everything. I could be kicked out of Germany, but you might wind up in a concentration camp.
Yes. It is a risk.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for the lavatory.
Churches do not have lavatories. It is one of the hardest things about Christianity.
Yes, of course. Excuse me.
One of my colleagues. What's he doing here?
Well, I don't think he heard anything.
Some of the press must be onto this.
Oh, yes, there is one journalist in particular. He has all the facts, but he can't publish. Daily press orders.
Who's that?
His name is Schwertfeder, the Berlin Times. He has everything.
Schwertfeder.
So he can't publish?
First of all, they'd take his paper away from him. And then they'd probably go after him and his family.
Are you going to Fatherland story?
have to prove it first.
And will Universal print it?
Maybe not. We could get expelled. realize that if I do go ahead. I don't know what the hell to do. What's that for?
Come on, taxi.
I'm worried about Butler.
Are you?
I don't think he overheard, but I can't be sure. Maybe I can put him off the scent. How long are you out there?
What the hell are you?
Sneaking around.
Get your hands off
following
me! God, help me, Shirer. I'm gonna have you thrown out.
If I read anything anywhere about church funds missing
Come on,
or the
stop
church
it!
schools they're missing
Bill!
from, I will knock your
Stop
teeth into
Bill!
the middle of next week.
Let me
Just
go!
Stop it. I'm sorry, Peter. He has such a bad temper. He's such an animal. You coming?
Absolutely, if the floor show's over.
Immediate!
Oh, great stuff. Are you coming too?
Later. It's bad form to tune up to the press ball too early. Didn't you know that?
For us.
For us?
Yeah, like you're dancing. I do okay with Butler?
Yes, you were very convincing.
I thought I went too far. There he is, with Helga Bauer. That's the woman. Oh, sorry.
That's Helga Bauer, the filmmaker? That's her?
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's Norman sitting with Goebbels.
Shirer, you piled something on General von Fritsch. Did anyone run it?
I don't know yet.
Well, Goebbels wants to see you. He asked if you ever met von Fritsch.
Sure, I met him. Pussy was with us.
Yeah, be careful.
What's the matter?
Oh, Putty's in the doghouse.
May I present
Mr. William L. Shirer. Yes, I know. Welcome to Berlin, Mr. Shirer. I have read your reports from Nuremberg. Please, sit down. Good, fair stories. Precisely written. I congratulate you.
Oh, thank you, sir. So, no complaints so far?
Only one. I believe you spoke to General von Fritsch.
That's right.
What exactly did you write about him?
I don't remember exactly.
It's an attack of amnesia.
Whatever it was, I don't make up stories. I just report them.
Yes, yes.
Next time, just drop by the ministry to check any facts people like the General may tell you.
Dr. Goebbels, do you know anything about Lutheran pastors being arrested by the Gestapo?
Only criminals are arrested. Even Niemöller is allowed to remain free, as you yourself saw.
Is it correct, sir, that 63 have been arrested?
Mr. Shirer, Germany is undergoing a great national revival. And those who try to undermine it cannot hope for its protection.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so you're saying that figure
Are you
is...
familiar with Section 14 of the Reich Press Law, Mr. Shirer?
Oh?
Dr. Hofstengel will explain it to you. I look forward to meeting your charming wife. You will excuse me.
Sure.
This charming lady. Wait. Yes, my dear, it's a pleasure to meet you. You know, there's a film project I wish to talk to you about.
What does Section 14 of the Reichspress law say?
You must not write anything that offends the honor and dignity of Germany.
Who decides what affects the honor and dignity and so on?
If you have any doubts, we will happily advise you.
And if I ignore your advice?
Come, Shirer. You won't do that. Enjoy it here too much. And you have a good job. In the new Germany, everybody works. In America, you still have the Depression, don't you? Excuse me.
Norman.
Oh, hello, Shirer. You were asking about Walter Schwertfeder. Yeah, would you like to meet him?
Is he here?
Of course he's here. Everybody's here. Walter! I'd very much like you to meet an old friend of mine, Bill Shirer. This is Walter Schwertfeder.
Hi, Littler.
Don't judge by appearances. They all do that. He's with Universal Services.
I saw you in conference with the Reichsminister.
Yeah, warning me about Section 14. I think we have some friends in common.
I expect we have.
Ralph
Yes.
Fiennes, Nick Knickerbocker, Reverend Lenz. I've been to see him. He mentioned your name.
You know, we have upstairs an impressive exhibition of recent Nazi achievements. Would you like to see it? Some of these displays are rather striking, don't you think?
Reverend Lenz told me you have a file of material you can't use.
I don't think I know that name. And over here, Mr. Shirer, some of our achievements in science.
I'd also like to see a copy of today's press orders.
This is a public place, Mr. Shirer. You are, may I say, careless.
I need help.
If I look at you very carefully, what do I see? I don't know what I see.
I'm a reporter.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Berlin is a city of illusion.
I'm looking for the truth.
Truth. You Americans imagine it exists.
Facts exist. And I can report them. Carefully. Honestly. I can tell stories that need to be told. But I need help.
I imagine one can always contact you through Norman Abbott.
Sure.
It was a pleasure showing you some examples of our most recent accomplishments. Good evening, Mr. Shirer.
Guten Abend, liebe Frau.
Das ist wirklich ein...
What was Goebbels saying to you?
He warned me about sensationalism.
What?
Oh, he's a charmer. He kissed my hand.
Oh, he did he?
You never kissed my hand.
Here.
You know, he knows everything about my career. What is this?
God.
Gestapo. My God, Bill! Where are my articles?
I went through everything.
My articles about the brown shirts.
They wanted to see what I wrote about Von Fritz.
Gestapo.
Gone. While we were safely at the press vault. They leave the whole mess so we'll know they've been here.
press orders are inside the newspaper.
Thank you for coming. My apartment was broken into last night.
What did you lose?
A copy of a story I wrote.
Nothing else?
I don't think so.
You mentioned a priest. You weren't so foolish as to write his name down. Or mine.
Yes. Just look in my drawer by the bed. Make sure my diary's there. Quick.
Yeah. Hold on. Where is it? Ah. I've got it. It was on the bureau. Is that where you left it?
Not in the drawer?
What's the matter, Bill? What's happening?
Reverend Lenz, my apartment was broken into last night. They went through all my papers. Your name was in a notebook of mine. They could have seen it.
The Gestapo.
I'm pretty sure.
These things happen.
There is no way you can tell from this that you ever met Lenz, or that you ever saw the daily press orders.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Good.
Ready?
When do you get in?
10 o'clock.
I want you to go straight to my Paris office, Marthe. Take a taxi and give this to Herb Cooper.
Trust me. Don't worry, Bill.
What do you want? Let me go! No! Let me go!
What is it?
Listen to this. Your article on Nazi church arrests printed in 70 papers. Congratulations, Universal Services, New York. The damn fools put it in a telegram. Get Schwertfeder on the phone at the Berlin Times. Quick.
What's the number?
819. I've got to tell Lenz.
But why are you so upset? I mean, this is good news. They printed it.
They put it in a telegram. The police read everything. They'll figure it out. And my diaries. They read my diaries. I know it.
Herr Schwertfeder, bitte schön.
Now go back over everything.
Ist noch nicht zurück? Wann erwarten Sie ihn? Nein, keine Nachricht, danke schön. He's not back from lunch.
It's 4:30. I'm supposed to meet Lenz at 5. Speak to Reverend Lenz, please. It's urgent.
He's not here. He had an appointment.
That was with me. How long ago did he leave?
With you? Are you the American
I'm sorry,
journalist?
I've got to go.
He's gone to the Tiergarten.
Please don't come, Mrs. Lenz.
Please don't leave me.
It'll be dangerous for you, too. It'll only make it worse for you.
I want to know what's going on. What are you doing?
Please stay here.
fahren wir gleich rein, ja?
Two men arrested because of me. I could only guess what might happen to them. It was clear that any German who told me the truth immediately risked arrest as a traitor. From then on, I'd have to hide whatever information I found out like a thief. Even if the Gestapo found my diaries, there would be no names, no addresses, no clues of who'd been talking to me. Still, I didn't doubt the important thing was to stay in Berlin and keep reporting. Nazi Germany was bent on creating a giant lie. Somebody had to stay and tell the damn story.